What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bike It Yourself. And this week, this is a little behind the scenes. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to be transparent with you guys. Like, when I bring videos to the table and I'm saying, hey, I'm learning how to do this along with you, no joke. Let me show you the process of what I do to teach myself on how to do some of this stuff, right? So again, this is a way to encourage you to kind of do the same thing. Let's take a quick look. So I've acquired a sewing machine from my neighbor. He was kind enough to donate this to the channel. It is a Singer Model 248 sewing machine manufactured in 1972. So this has actually got a couple of years on me. I am a 70s baby, but not a 1972 70s baby. Anyhow, it needed a little TLC to kind of get it back up on its feet. It didn't want to rotate at all. The motor wasn't strong enough to turn it, and it had been sitting for a while, so it had to be oiled. And I found it where there was a gear that grinded pretty bad in this, so replaced that gear. That gear that I replaced, I broke it in the learning process, because believe it or not, these things have timing, and if the timing is off, then you end up jamming your needle down into a plate and all kinds of bad stuff. So that had to be addressed. I found another cracked gear that was in this, which is totally not uncommon for older plastic gears in sewing machines. So that was pretty much normal. In fact, they sell, I think, complete kits to restore all of the gears. I'm getting this basically just on its feet to do my projects, and we'll see where it goes later on after that. So here's the process. Now that I got kind of things going on, learning how to string this through the whole process of the machine itself. There's a little bit to that. You've got a couple of knobs here. This is essentially what sets how far each stitch is going to be from itself. This is a tension adjuster here, so how much tension is placed on the thread, and depending on the thickness of the thread, that's going to vary. And I will tell you, when I cracked that gear, I did throw off the timing, so I've been working through the process of figuring out the right timing, and that's a little bit of a bear. I'll show you what that looks like here in a few. But to give you an idea of like how much effort, how much time I invest, at least in myself, to teach myself how to do this, and I share this with you guys, like tons of thread that I've gone through, mistakes made, trying to figure out like what works, what doesn't work. Instead of using vinyl material or whatever that's costs money, I'm using just a shop towel, fold it in half, and run in my sewing machine through it to see, do I have it right? And each one of these represents essentially a failed stitch. So my goal is to figure this thing out, get it dialed in, so that way I get a good consistent stitch all the way through, and then I'll be able to do my sheet cover at that point. So got my next piece here. What I've discovered is, even after setting the timing on this, or I thought I set the timing correctly, I still got it wrong. So I've got to readjust the timing, and we'll get a closer look at it. But yeah, that's kind of the process. So let's look at the timing, and then we'll try to stitch a line, and you'll get to see what this process looks like. All right, so when we talk about setting the timing on a machine, like a car, this is a motor. It's got a belt here that drives the engine. I'd have to take this thing off, but you've got essentially what looks like a cam going through this with lobes, and it's driving all of the gears that kind of connect all these pieces that make this thing go up and down. And at the same time, this lower thread thing is spinning as well. And in order for that to spin, you have another set of gears, a belt, right? And then here's your kind of lower spinning doohickamabob. But this is where you need to set your timing. So you got some set screws here that you loosen up, and then you adjust your little piece here. And the reason why you want to adjust that is because, let me take that apart. It's been very interesting to learn all about how sewing machines work, because it's a pretty cool process, man. Considering like this thing doesn't like loop through the material, right? Like you see somebody doing by hand. This basically just keeps poking, and you're like, well, how the hell does that stitch? And the way it works is, in this machine, you know what? Let me see if I can get some better lighting. All right, so in this machine, there is the needle, of course, that goes up and down, and then you got this spinning mechanism here, and in the spinning mechanism, there is a slice in it that is essentially like a hook. And what it does is, as your needle comes down, it hooks that thread, spins it around, and when it spins it around, it loops it around that other, they call it a bobbin, right? So this little guy here. And then locks in that stitch, pulls itself up, and repeats the process. So that's all it's doing. It's just repeating the process really, really fast, right? So the timing, though, is all about when that needle drops, the thread being captured by that slice that I was talking about. So let's see if we can find that slice. Oh, there it is. So there's that slice. And right now, if you notice, let me get my thread squared away here, because it ain't where it needs to be. All right, so if you notice, it didn't grab the thread, and that's my problem right now, is as that rotates, it needs to come by that needle and snag that thread when it comes down. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So that time it missed again. Now, I'm setting the timing on it, and I've done it already in the past, but what I did, and I think this is where my mistake was, and again, this is process of learning, right? You have a couple of settings here for your needle position. So you can position your needle to the far left, the center, or the right. And depending on what kind of stitching you're trying to do, maybe you're doing some kind of crazy zigzag or whatever, it determines where you're going to want that. Well, I line stuff up for the middle, but the minute I try to go left, it doesn't work anymore. So that tells me, by default, this machine is supposed to work regardless of what position it is. So if this is the furthest away in that cycle of spinning, then I need to make sure that this thread gets hooked up on that hook, even when it's furthest away from the actual hook itself, right? So I'm going to reset this this timing, and then hopefully it'll pick back up and we can do some test runs. All right, since I got the hood off this thing, I can at least show you kind of the inside here, but what I've just identified is as I move, if you look at that top, the needle, you can kind of see it going up and down, right? So I've got some play there, and if you notice, that bottom part ain't spinning, and this should all be in lockstep, like there shouldn't be any play in that. So looking at, so this is that gear I told you that I cracked right down there, but it sits on a, or yeah, there's a rod that goes through it. It has a set screw, and it must have come loose or something. There's actually a flat spot on it, but if you see, it's got play in it, right? That shouldn't be there. So now I've got to adjust that, and what that means is I got to take this off because I got to be able to access the set screw through basically squeezing it through this little opening here to tighten it down and get things all tightened up again. So I'm going to run through that really quick, and then we'll check our timing. All right, so I think I've got my timing squared away. So now it's just time to reassemble this lower portion, and just like a car or motorcycle or anything else, man, it's all mechanical. That's kind of the beauty of this, is you don't have a ton of crazy electronics kind of gumming you up. This is about as basic as it can get because of the age of the machine. The newer stuff, because I looked at what it would cost me to buy one just to learn, and yeah, they depend on the model, man. Like they get up there. That's for sure, and they have all kinds of digital stuff going on, which might make life a whole lot easier. I don't know, But for a new guy starting out, I'm not looking to make a crazy investment. But if I can't get this thing working consistently, then that might be something I may have to do. It just delay me a little bit, which would be a little bit frustrating, but you know, I want to make sure this is something I got to see through. All right, so we got everything kind of put back together here. Slide that closed. And we got it shifted all the way to the left. I want to see if it's going to pick up on it. Load it up, hit the gas, and we'll go. Oop. Let's see here. So we got a jam. And this has pretty much been the process for a little while for me, is kind of trial and error. What works, what doesn't work. And trying to find out what does what mean. So like right now I got a rat's nest here that's developed in the bobbin area. So I got to figure out what caused that. More thread. And a lot of times they say, like, if you're getting rat's nests underneath there, it's because you don't have your tension settings just right. So reduce it by about half, or not half, but a quarter. Yeah, 0.5. Now I tore the paper trying to get it out of there, but you can see it's going through. It's kind of trying to do its thing, but it ain't perfect, and we need it to be perfect. Because if it ain't perfect, then we can't sew, can't stitch that seat cover. And this is always my favorite part because my eyes suck. I guess I gotta raise up the dang. See, that's what I'm saying, man. My eyes are terrible. I didn't even notice that the ah, crap, I just had it. Get some tweezers to do it for me. There we go. All right. No, crap. Messed that up. So, it's a process. But this is what it takes, right? This is what I'm willing to commit to in order to learn a skill or even just a hobby to do something cool. By the way, big props to all the guys that could do upholstery. I mean, if you guys already have this down, man, just respect. All right, so got it rethreaded. Got our tension setting set a little less. I don't know if it's got to be less or more. We're going to find that out. If I get the exact same problem, then I know it's got to go the other direction. Yep. And just like that, we got a jam. So my guess is I'm probably going in the wrong direction, and I need to go about I had to tighten it probably. Oh well. So that's what it takes to learn how to sew. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap up this video. Like I said, just a little behind the scenes of what it takes to develop yourself a little bit further, the commitment that you need to make. Know that it ain't gonna just be perfect every single time. That I am not gaslighting you guys when I tell you stuff like, I've never done this before. Legit, haven't ever done it before. So this is a hell of a learning process. It takes time, but if you commit to it and you're willing to learn, then you'll get there. Maybe not quickly, but you'll get there. So I hope this video provides you a little bit of insight and inspires you to try something new, to teach yourself something different, and just be proud. It might not come out perfect, but you did it. So until my next video does post, I hope to see you in the win.